It happened right in front of this house. They were right here in this area. Some of the Latin Kings right here in this area talking to the girl Jennifer Garcia. And I went walking across the street, and I went right to this corner, passing up this house, and then she came from there when they told her to rob me. And so she came walking with a shot-off shotgun. And once she got to this point, when she got to this area right here, that's when she made the sound with the shotgun, pumping it. And then she came up over here about maybe 2 feet past the house when she poked me in the rib and told me to get down on the ground. It was right in front of this house on 12th in Washington, on the south side of Milwaukee. It was really fucked up. Every time I look at it, when I have to be reminded of it, it haunts me. Hello everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. I've shown already so far one interview from the news about the mugging, the time that I got jumped and got the living shit beat out of me, trying to beat me to death on June 26, 2003. And the Latin Kings during that time, and these were people that I didn't even know, a whole new generation of this gang. And they were all straight up punks, all of them. I really thought I was gonna die. I mean, as soon as I heard one of them say "kill him," when I got taken down to the ground, and they started beating the shit out of me and just stomping on my head to make sure that I was dead, that kind of thing. And then hearing someone say "kill him," like "kill him, man, kill him," and then stomping on my head even harder. And I thought maybe that someone was gonna pull out a gun and shoot me. And it's such a fucked up thing, an experience that I don't ever want to go through again. Now, this video footage, or from the news, was from my very first interview, and this was in 2014, 11 years after I got jumped. Now, in this interview, I didn't show myself, because this is when Jennifer Garcia, the girl that pulled the 12 gauge at me and I disarmed her, she was going to prison for almost beating to death a 3-year-old boy. So I decided to tell my story. And this was the first one that I did before the second one when I finally showed myself. This was a few years later. In this one, I was in silhouette because I thought when I was about to do it, my mom and my brother and one of my sisters, my sister, they pretty much just told me, don't show your face because who knows if somebody might retaliate. What if they decide to retaliate against you and because you showed your face on the news? So I thought about it, so I decided to be in silhouette. I kind of regret it, but the second news footage I pretty much made up for it. I just didn't care. This is the first one.
Woman accused of beating him is in jail.
Yeah, tonight we're learning of another victim, allegedly at the hands of the same woman. Our Myra Sanchek here with the Fox 6 exclusive. Myra?
Yeah, that man I spoke with still gets emotional when he talks about his near-death experience on Milwaukee's South Side. Now that same woman convicted of pulling a gun on him is accused of torturing and nearly killing a little boy.
Hey. And I kept on walking. I said to myself,
With that sound, this man's nightmare began in June of 2003. He's still so afraid he doesn't want to be identified. The woman holding a sawed-off shotgun to his ribs 11 years ago. Jennifer Garcia. Garcia is now charged with more than a dozen crimes involving the beating and burning boy in her care. Tremonte is Garcia's boyfriend's son. This is a picture of him in happier times. This is the picture the family members share today. Tremonte cannot walk or talk.
I said, yeah, this is the girl that tried to rob me 11 years ago.
The current violence reminds this victim of that day he was walking to work near 12th and Washington. He remembers passing a group of people. A criminal complaint says Garcia pulled a gun on him.
She cocked it again. And then she came up to me close by and she poked me in the rib. To get my attention, I turned her around and there she was and she cocked it again for the third time.
The victim grabbed the gun, knocked Garcia away, and ran. He says 12 to 15 other young people came running after.
I panicked. I just turned and ran as fast as I could. My heart was beating real fast. I could just hear the footsteps behind me on the cement, boom, 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 like this. And I said to myself, I don't think I'm gonna make it.
The group beat him and left him for dead, but he managed to stagger into a restaurant for help.
The toughest part of the whole thing was not knowing when I was gonna live or die.
Garcia was sentenced to 189 days in the House of Correction for her role in his beating.
She didn't care if I died back then. What makes her think she's gonna care about this kid?
And Garcia will be back in court on the child abuse charges next month. The little boy's family set up an account for his care. It is the Justice for Tremonte Fund at any U.S. bank. Brad?
That's very disturbing. Myra?
So that was the first one, and just wanted to let you guys know that night on that street that you saw, every time even though I haven't been to that neighborhood in years, about 2 days ago, my father and I went somewhere close to that area to go to this one supermarket that he had to go to. So I went with him. So we passed by that area, and without fail, every time I see that area, I think about that night. And it pretty much takes away most of the memories of what I had around that area, of me going to school when I was growing up. And of course there was gangs back then. When I was 6 years old in 1978, when the Spanish Cobras pretty much were at the height, at full strength at that time. And they pretty much had control they owned the neighborhood in that sense. And then going away all through the mid 80s, when the Latin Kings, the ones that I grew up with, started, when they took over, and all the old school gangs from that time, Spanish Cobras, Latin Kings, and so on and stuff like that. And this was just a whole new generation of these people that I never even saw before. And most of them were like 14, 15, 16 years old. Most of them were like that. It's hard. It's hard to see that area and not think about that. But I'll get over it. I mean, it's to me, I don't know. It's no. I think it's just a matter of time. It doesn't bother me as much, but it's, like I said before, it's a matter of time. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Questions or comments, you know what to do. And to all of you, take care.